Teeth were made out of wood.
Really?
Martha's lips were always full of slivers.
Alan Alda, a celebrated figure in acting, writing, directing, and podcasting, achieved a significant understanding with the Pentagon regarding the use of firearms. Now, at 88, Alan Alda reveals his true feelings about someone he worked with on MASH. Despite his accomplishments, Alan Alda wasn't always perfect. He often clashed with a co-star he strongly disliked. His appreciation for drama and humor is well known, and he humorously mentions his search for the driest martini. MASH was a successful television show, but its appeal diminished when it lost its comedic edge. The question arises, what caused the show to decline in quality? Who was the individual Alan Alda disliked so much? Was it a crew member or another actor? Get ready to uncover these answers and other interesting details about MASH as Alan finally shares his sentiments.
I'll just pop out for a quick shower and a short nap. Let me know if a doctor's needed.
Step 1 foot outside that door, bust.
The television show MASH was on CBS from 1972 to 1983. It was a mix of comedy and drama about a group of doctors and nurses. These medical people worked at a mobile army surgical hospital, or MASH, during the Korean War. The show was based on a book written in 1968 by Richard Hooker. There was also a movie called MASH that came out in 1970. MASH was very popular. It became one of the most watched shows ever on American TV. People liked that it was funny but also showed serious things about war. The last episode of MASH was watched by more people than any other TV show, ending until 2010. The show followed the lives of the doctors and nurses as they dealt with the challenges of saving lives in a war zone. They used humor to cope with the stress and sadness they often faced. The show was set in South Korea at the 477th MASH unit. The characters were always trying to make the best of a difficult situation. They played pranks, told jokes, and tried to keep their spirits up even when things were tough. The show also showed the serious side of war. It showed the injuries, the deaths, and the emotional toll that war took on everyone involved. MASH was different from other war shows because it mixed comedy with these serious themes. This made it a show that people could laugh at but also think about. The show's popularity lasted for many years, and it is still watched and enjoyed by people today. It remains a memorable part of television history because of its unique way of showing war and its impact on people's lives. The characters became like friends to many viewers, and their stories continue to resonate with audiences. The show explored themes of friendship, love, loss, and the importance of finding humor even in the darkest of times. It was a show that made people laugh, cry, and think, and its legacy continues to this day.
With the laxative filling.
The court-martial forms, Colonel.
Court-martial, wait!
The 1972 TV series MASH, while a beloved comedy drama, experienced some behind-the-scenes tensions. Specifically, Alan Alda, who played Hawkeye Pierce, had disagreements with director Jackie Cooper. Cooper's directing style was more traditional, and he preferred to stick to established methods. However, Alda wanted more input into his character and the overall direction of the show. He sought greater creative freedom and wanted to explore his character more deeply. This difference in approach caused friction between them. Alda was sometimes seen as strong-willed and unwilling to follow Cooper's directions without question. On the other hand, Cooper felt that Alda was too dominant and didn't respect his authority as the director. These tensions created a challenging environment at times, even though the show was generally a positive experience for most of the cast and crew. The clash stemmed from differing views on how the show should be made and the level of creative control each person should have. It highlights the complexities that can arise when strong personalities and different artistic visions come together in a collaborative project. The show continued despite these issues, but the differing opinions between Alda and Cooper remained a point of contention.
Just looks delicious.
Gentlemen, we're forgetting our guest.
Alan Alda did more than just play Hawkeye Pierce on MASH. He was also very involved in making the show. Besides being the main actor, Alda helped write and direct many episodes. In fact, he co-wrote and directed 31 episodes. This means he had a big say in how the show looked. And fellow tenant, his influence helped MASH become known for mixing funny moments with serious stories about war. Alda's ideas were important in changing the show over time. What he did behind the camera was just as important as his acting. He helped make sure the show told stories that were both funny and thought-provoking. He wanted to show the reality of war, but also find humor in tough situations. Alda's work helped MASH become a show that people still watch and enjoy today. His dedication to the show went beyond just acting, and his creative input made a lasting impact. He helped shape the show's identity and made it something special. His influence can still be seen in how the show is remembered and appreciated.
Disciplined doctors.
Captain Pierce is no exception.
Did I say that?
In the television series MASH, character conflicts and rivalries played a significant role, both on and off the screen. A notable instance involved Alda, who portrayed Hawkeye Pierce, and Mike Farrell, who played B.J. Honeycutt. A rivalry developed between them during the show's run. This rivalry wasn't necessarily malicious, but rather a complex mix of friendly competition and disagreements. Both actors were deeply invested in their characters and the overall success of the show. This shared commitment sometimes led to clashes regarding how their respective characters should be portrayed. They had different ideas about the best way to bring their characters to life, and these differences occasionally resulted in tension on set. The dynamic between Alda and Farrell was multifaceted, encompassing both camaraderie and moments of discord. Their dedication to MASH ultimately helped them navigate these challenges, but the rivalry remained a notable aspect of their working relationship. The show benefited from their passion, even when it sparked disagreements, and the audience could sense the chemistry and tension between their characters. This rivalry contributed to the show's realism and complexity, making it more engaging for viewers. The actors' commitment to their roles, despite their differences, helped make MASH a memorable and impactful television series. The interplay between Hawkeye and BJ, fueled by the actors' own dynamic, added depth to the show's exploration of friendship and conflict during wartime. The show continued to explore these themes, and the actors' dedication remained steadfast.
Corporal Klinger, that's the finest act of bravery I've ever witnessed.
The TV show MASH was special because it mixed funny moments with serious stories. People really liked this mix. Over time, the show changed a bit. At first, it was mostly funny, but later on, it started talking about harder things, like what war is really like. Even though it got serious, it still had funny parts to keep things balanced. You might have noticed that the show used to have a laugh track, which is when you hear people laughing in the background. As the show went on and got more serious, they used the laugh track less and less. This helped make the show feel more real and less like just a comedy. The humor in MASH was important because it helped people deal with the sad and difficult parts of the war. It showed that even in tough times, there's still room for laughter and hope. The characters used jokes and pranks to cope with the stress and danger they faced every day. This made them seem more human and relatable to the audience. The show's ability to balance humor and sadness is one of the reasons why it's still popular today. It reminds us that life is full of both good and bad, and that it's important to find ways to laugh even when things are hard. The way MASH handled its tone and humor was a big part of what made it so special and memorable. It wasn't afraid to be funny, but it also wasn't afraid to be serious and talk about important issues. This made it a show that people could connect with on many different levels. The changing tone of MASH also reflected the changing attitudes towards the Vietnam War during the time it was on television. As the war became more unpopular, the show started to reflect the growing sense of disillusionment and questioning of authority. This made the show even more relevant and thought-provoking for its audience. The writers and actors of MASH were very talented at finding the right balance between humor and drama. They knew when to make people laugh and when to make them think. This is what made the show so unique and why it continues to be watched and appreciated by people of all ages. The show's humor often came from the characters' attempts to make sense of the chaos and absurdity of war. They used jokes and pranks as a way to maintain their sanity and to create a sense of community in the midst of the conflict. This made the humor feel very real and relatable, even though the situations were often extreme. The serious moments in MASH were often very moving and powerful. The show didn't shy away from showing the pain and suffering that war causes, both to the soldiers and to the civilians who were caught in the middle. This made the show very impactful and helped to raise awareness about the human cost of war. The combination of humor and drama in MASH made it a truly groundbreaking television show. It showed that it was possible to create a show that was both entertaining and thought-provoking, and that could appeal to a wide audience. The show's legacy continues to inspire and influence television writers and producers today. The use of the laugh track in MASH was a subject of much debate over the years. Some people felt that it was unnecessary and even distracting, while others felt that it helped to enhance the humor of the show. As the show became more serious, the laugh track was used less frequently, which helped to create a more realistic and immersive viewing experience. The decision to reduce the use of the laugh track was a reflection of the show's evolving tone, and its desire to be taken more seriously as a drama. It was also a recognition that the audience was becoming more sophisticated, and that they were able to appreciate the humor of the show without being told when to laugh. The absence of the laugh track in later seasons allowed the show's more poignant and dramatic moments to resonate more deeply with the audience. It created a space for viewers to reflect on the serious issues that the show was addressing without being interrupted by canned laughter. This made the show even more powerful and impactful. The humor in MASH was often used as a way to critique the absurdity and hypocrisy of war. The characters would use jokes and satire to expose the flaws in the military system and to question the motives of those in power. This made the show very subversive and helped to challenge the prevailing attitudes towards war during the time it was on television. The show's willingness to challenge authority and to question the status quo was one of the reasons why it was so popular with young people. It gave them a voice and helped them to feel like they were not alone in their skepticism about the war. The legacy of MASH is that it showed that it is possible to create a television show that is both entertaining and meaningful, and that can make a difference in the world.
Captain O'Reilly.
The TV show MASH, which started in 1972, has had an interesting journey when it comes to being available to watch online. Initially, the first 5 seasons of MASH showed up on Netflix on February 1st, 2015. This was the very first time people could stream the show online. However, Netflix only had the rights to show it for a limited time. After about a year, in April 2016, MASH was no longer available on Netflix. Subsequently, in July 2017, all 11 seasons of MASH were added to Hulu. This meant that viewers could now watch the entire series from beginning to end on one streaming service. What made this even better was that the episodes had been remastered. Remastered means they were cleaned up and made to look better than before. They were now in 1080p, which is a high-definition format, and presented in a 169 widescreen format. This widescreen format makes the show fit better on modern TVs, which are wider than older TVs. Furthermore, making MASH available on streaming services like Hulu helped introduce the show to a whole new group of people who might not have seen it when it was originally on TV. These new viewers could now enjoy the show on their computers, tablets, and phones, making it easier than ever to watch MASH anytime, anywhere. The improved picture quality also made the show more appealing to younger audiences who are used to watching everything in high definition. So, MASH's journey from being a popular TV show to being available on streaming services has allowed it to stay relevant and reach new fans.
I'm afraid you caught me in mid-paperwork. Do you mind if I do a little business with my clerk? It won't take long.
Certainly, Colonel.
Corporal,
The television show MASH had many different actors who played interesting characters. At first, McLean Stevenson wanted to play Hawkeye Pierce, but that part went to Alan Alda. Jamie Farr played Corporal Klinger. He was only supposed to be in one episode, but people liked him so much that he became a regular character. Wayne Rogers, who played Trapper John McIntyre, did not have a normal contract. This meant he could leave the show if he wanted to. The people who made MASH chose actors who could show many sides of their characters. This made the show more interesting to watch, because the characters seemed like real people with real problems. The actors brought their own ideas to the show, which helped make MASH a big success. The way the actors were chosen, and how they played their characters helped MASH become one of the most popular TV shows ever. The characters felt real because the actors were so good at showing their feelings and making them seem like people you might know. The show was about serious things, but the actors also made it funny, which is why so many people liked it. The actors worked hard to make the show good, and their choices helped make MASH a show that people still watch and enjoy. The decisions about who would play each part were very important to the show's success, and the actors made the characters come to life in a way that made people care about them. The actors were able to show the good and bad sides of their characters, which made them seem more real and relatable. The show was able to be both funny and sad because of the way the actors played their parts. The actors were a big part of why MASH was such a special show, and their work is still remembered today. The choices made about who would play each character had a big impact on how the show was received, and the actors were able to bring their own unique talents to the roles. The actors were able to make the characters their own, and they helped to create a show that was both entertaining and thought-provoking. The actors were a key part of the show's success, and their performances are still admired by many. The actors were able to bring a sense of realism to the show, and they helped to make it one of the most beloved TV shows of all time. The actors were able to create characters that people could connect with, and they helped to make MASH a show that is still relevant today. The actors were able to bring a sense of humor to the show, and they helped to make it a show that is both funny and heartwarming. The actors were able to create a show that was both entertaining and meaningful, and their work is still appreciated by many. The actors were able to bring a sense of humanity to the show, and they helped to make it a show that is both touching and inspiring. The actors were able to create a show that was both funny and sad, and their work is still remembered today. The actors were able to bring a sense of realism to the show, and they helped to make it one of the most beloved TV shows of all time.
They can make a bazooka that'll part your hair from 2 miles away, but they still haven't found out a way to monitor a cow's blood pressure.
Many individuals involved in the MASH television series brought their own military experiences to the production, enriching the show's authenticity. For instance, Jamie Farr, known for his role as Corporal Maxwell Klinger, actually served in the U.S. Army during the Korean War. This first-hand experience provided him with a unique perspective on military life, which he channeled into his portrayal of Klinger. Similarly, Alda, who played Captain Benjamin Franklin Hawkeye Pierce, also had a connection to the military. He spent 6 months in Korea with the Army Reserves. While his experience was not in a combat zone, it still gave him insights into the atmosphere and challenges faced by soldiers stationed there. These real-life experiences of the actors helped to shape their performances and contributed to the show's realistic depiction of military life. The actors were able to draw upon their own memories and observations to bring a sense of truthfulness to their characters and the situations they faced. This added layer of authenticity resonated with viewers, many of whom had also served in the military or had family members who had. The show's ability to capture the complexities of military life, both the humorous and the tragic, was due in part to the actors' personal connections to the subject matter. Their experiences allowed them to portray their characters with a depth and understanding that might not have been possible otherwise. The military background of some cast members was invaluable in creating a show that felt both entertaining and true to life. This authenticity helped MASH become one of the most beloved and enduring television series in history, and it continues to resonate with audiences today. The insights gained from their time in service allowed them to bring a level of realism to their roles that enhanced the show's overall impact. Alda's role in MASH was much bigger than just playing Hawkeye. He had a real impact on how the show turned out. Besides being a main actor, Alda also helped write and direct some of the episodes. This gave him a chance to shape the stories and the overall feel of the show. Alda cared a lot about showing all sides of war, not just the funny parts. He wanted people to see the serious and difficult things that soldiers and doctors went through. By adding these deeper themes, Alda helped MASH grow from a simple comedy into something more meaningful. The show started to explore important ideas about war, peace, and what it means to be human. His work behind the scenes allowed MASH to tackle tough subjects while still keeping its sense of humor. Alda's influence made the show more than just entertainment. It made it a way to think about important issues. He helped MASH become a show that people could laugh with, but also learn from, and remember long after it was over. His dedication to showing the real impact of war, mixed with moments of laughter, is a big reason why MASH is still loved and respected today. He left a lasting mark on the show and on television.
Johansson, let me fix a tray for you.
I don't understand, Margaret. You never fix a tray for me. What about you?
The 1972 TV series MASH is remembered for its humor and its serious look at the Korean War. Furthermore, one aspect that added to its success was the significant guest appearances by well-known actors. For example, Ron Howard, who later became a famous director, appeared in an early episode. Similarly, Leslie Nielsen, known for his comedic roles, also made a guest appearance, showing his range as an actor before his comedic peak. In addition, Patrick Swayze, before his breakthrough in films, had a role in MASH, giving audiences a glimpse of his talent. These appearances were important because they attracted more viewers. The presence of recognizable faces made the show more appealing and helped to keep audiences interested. The guest stars brought their own fans to the show, increasing its popularity. Moreover, these appearances provided opportunities for actors to showcase their abilities in a different context. The writers often created roles that allowed these actors to shine, making their characters memorable even in a single episode. The show's ability to attract such talent speaks to its quality and reputation in the entertainment industry. The inclusion of these actors not only boosted viewership, but also added depth to the storylines. The guest appearances were carefully chosen to complement the existing cast and the overall tone of the show. The impact of these guest roles is still felt today, as fans often rediscover these early performances by actors who went on to achieve great success. The show's legacy is enhanced by the contributions of these talented individuals who helped to make MASH a truly special television experience. The careful selection of guest stars contributed to the show's long-lasting appeal and its place in television history. The show continued to evolve and attract new viewers.
We're staying.
Well, what'll I tell General Armistead?
Tell him we're watching a movie with more stars.
Loretta Swit's major role in MASH as Major Margaret Hot Lips Houlihan was indeed a cornerstone of the show's enduring appeal. She was a constant presence, missing only a handful of episodes out of the entire series run. Her character was far more than just a stern head nurse. She brought a depth and resilience that resonated with viewers. Initially, Major Houlihan was portrayed as a by-the-book officer, often at odds with the more free-spirited doctors like Hawkeye and Trapper. However, as the series progressed, Swit skillfully revealed the layers beneath the surface, showing a woman struggling to maintain her authority in a male-dominated environment, while also dealing with the emotional toll of war. Her relationships with the other characters evolved significantly over the seasons. While her early interactions with Hawkeye were often combative, a grudging respect, and even moments of vulnerability developed between them. The complexities of her character allowed for exploration of themes such as sexism, duty, and the human cost of conflict. Swit's portrayal wasn't just about comedic timing, though she certainly had that. It was about portraying a real person trying to make sense of a chaotic world. The character's nickname, Hot Lips, initially seemed to define her, but Swit ensured that Margaret was much more than just a stereotype. She showcased Margaret's intelligence, her dedication to her patients, and her capacity for compassion. This transformation was crucial to the show's ability to balance humor with serious commentary on the realities of war. The audience witnessed her character grow, learn, and adapt, making her relatable and sympathetic. Swit's performance earned her numerous accolades, including multiple Emmy Awards, recognizing her contribution to the show's success. Her portrayal of Major Houlihan helped to break down barriers and challenge traditional representations of women in the military. She became a symbol of strength and resilience, inspiring many viewers. The impact of her role extends beyond the show itself, influencing how female characters are written and portrayed in television even today. Her dedication to the role and her ability to bring depth and nuance to the character ensured that Major Margaret Hot Lips Houlihan remains a memorable and important figure in television history. The way she embodied the character made her an unforgettable part of the MASH experience, and her work continues to be appreciated by fans old and new, showing the lasting power of a well-developed and expertly acted role.
What do I do if she asks me what I like in music?
The TV show MASH had some interesting things happen behind the scenes. One of the show's most liked items was Radar's teddy bear. Radar was a character on the show, and he always had his teddy bear with him. After the show ended, the teddy bear was lost for about 30 years. Then, it showed up at an auction. Gary Berghoff, the actor who played Radar, bought the teddy bear at the auction. Also, the actors on MASH buried a time capsule. They did this while they were filming one of the last episodes. A time capsule is like a box filled with things from that time. People bury it so that others can find it later and see what life was like back then. After the show was over, a construction worker found the time capsule. This discovery added to the story and history of the show. These behind-the-scenes stories make the show even more interesting.
Judy? Oh, I'm so glad you came back, Pop.
Following the end of MASH, there were efforts to continue the story with new shows. One of these was called After MASH. This show followed some of the characters from the original series, like Klinger, as they tried to adjust to life after the war. However, After MASH and other spin-off attempts did not become as popular as MASH. Even though these shows didn't last as long, they showed how much people loved the original MASH series. The ideas and stories from MASH also appeared in other places, showing that the show had a big influence on television and how people thought about war stories. The impact of MASH extended beyond just the show itself, influencing other programs and media for many years after it ended. The show's unique mix of comedy and serious themes about war left a lasting impression, and its characters and stories continue to be remembered and referenced in popular culture. The attempts to create spin-offs, even if they weren't as successful, demonstrated the desire to keep the world and characters of MASH alive. The original series set a high standard, and it was difficult for any follow-up to match its quality and appeal. The legacy of MASH is not just in its own episodes, but also in the way it changed how television dealt with serious subjects, and how it inspired other creators. The show's influence can still be seen in television today, even though the spin-offs themselves are not widely remembered. The characters and themes of MASH resonated with audiences for a long time, and the show's impact on television history is undeniable. The efforts to continue the story after the original series ended highlight the enduring popularity and cultural significance of MASH, even if those efforts did not achieve the same level of success. The show's legacy lives on through reruns, discussions, and its influence on subsequent television programs. The impact of MASH is a testament to its quality and the connection it made with viewers, ensuring its place as a landmark television series. The show's ability to blend humor and pathos in a wartime setting was groundbreaking, and its influence continues to be felt in the entertainment industry. The attempts to create spin-offs, while ultimately unsuccessful in replicating the original's magic, serve as a reminder of the deep affection and respect that MASH garnered from its audience and the television community. The show's legacy is secure, and its place in television history is well-deserved.
Father?
During the making of the TV show MASH, Alda and director Jackie Cooper did not always get along. Cooper thought Alda was trying to put his own political ideas into the show. This caused them to disagree about how things should be done. Even though they had these problems, Alda and Cooper still managed to do good work that kept people watching the show. Alda was a main actor, and Cooper was in charge of directing some of the episodes. Their different ideas sometimes made things difficult on set. However, they both wanted the show to be good, so they found ways to work together even when they disagreed. The show was very popular, and many people enjoyed watching it every week. It is interesting to know that even though the people making the show had some disagreements, they were still able to create something that many people loved. The success of MASH shows that even when people have different opinions, they can still work together to achieve a common goal. The show lasted for many years, and is still watched by people today. It is a reminder that good things can come from hard work and cooperation, even when there are challenges along the way. The conflict between Alda and Jackie Cooper is just one small part of the story of how MASH was made, but it shows how important it is to be able to work with others, even when you don't always agree. It also shows how important it is to focus on the goal, and to try to create something that everyone can be proud of. The show's long run and continued popularity are a testament to the hard work and dedication of everyone involved, including Alda and Jackie Cooper. Their ability to overcome their differences and work together is a big part of why MASH was such a success. It is a story that continues to be told and remembered by fans of the show.
Hey ho, everybody! Go get your mess kits and report right back here.
The final episode of MASH achieved remarkable success, drawing a massive audience and becoming one of the most watched TV episodes ever. Interestingly, the episode that was filmed last was not actually the series finale. Instead, another episode titled As Time Goes By holds the distinction of being the final one produced. The continued popularity of MASH, many years after its conclusion, demonstrates its significant influence on television. The show's blend of comedy and drama, set against the backdrop of the Korean War, resonated with viewers and made it a cultural phenomenon. Its characters like Hawkeye, BJ, and Margaret Hot Lips Houlihan became household names. The show tackles serious issues such as war, death, and the human cost of conflict, while also providing moments of levity and humor. This unique combination helped MASH stand out from other sitcoms of its time. The series finale, titled Goodbye, Farewell, and Amen, aired in 1983, and was watched by over 100 million people. It depicted the end of the Korean War, and the departure of the main characters from the 4077th Mobile Army Surgical Hospital. The episode explored the emotional toll of war, and the bonds that the characters had formed during their time together. The impact of MASH extends beyond its ratings success. The show helped to change the way that television dealt with serious subjects, and paved the way for other dramedies that followed. Its influence can still be seen in television today, as shows continue to blend humor and drama to explore complex issues. The show's legacy is also evident in its continued popularity in syndication and on streaming services. New generations of viewers are discovering MASH and appreciating its unique blend of comedy and drama. The show's themes of war, peace, and the human condition remain relevant today, ensuring that its impact will continue to be felt for years to come. The characters' struggles and triumphs continue to resonate with audiences, making MASH a timeless classic. The show's ability to make viewers laugh and cry, often in the same episode, is a testament to its enduring appeal. The final episode, while not the last one filmed, provided a satisfying conclusion to the series, leaving a lasting impression on viewers. The show's impact on television history is undeniable, and its legacy continues to grow. The show's ability to connect with audiences on an emotional level is a key factor in its enduring popularity. The characters' relationships, their struggles, and their triumphs are all relatable, even though the show is set in a specific historical context. The show's humor is also a key factor in its success. The writers were able to find humor in even the darkest of situations, providing viewers with moments of levity and relief. The show's ability to balance humor and drama is a testament to its skill and artistry. The show's legacy is also evident in the many awards that it won during its run, including multiple Emmy Awards and Golden Globe Awards. The show's critical acclaim is a testament to its quality and its impact on television history. The show's influence can also be seen in the many spin-offs and adaptations that have been created over the years. These spin-offs and adaptations are a testament to the show's enduring popularity and its ability to connect with audiences. The show's legacy is secure, and its impact on television history will continue to be felt for years to come.
Here, you might as well be where you can do some good.
Hey, I didn't say I was going to do it. Just let me dream, will you? You gotta admit it's a tantalizing thought.